Hey first graders, we are learning about something new this week called silent letters. Sometimes I will call these ghost letters too because you have a letter that doesn't make any sound. So some people will say it's a silent letter. You might hear somebody call it a ghost letter. Either way, what you're going to notice about these is that there's one letter that doesn't make any sound. It's kind of like when we learned about vowel teams, how the one letter says a sound and then the other letter says nothing. It's similar to that, where one of these letters is not going to make any sound. So here are the ones we are going to kind of look at this week. We have W and R. This W will not make any sound. So the sound that you are going to hear is the R sound. When you see a WR, all you're going to hear for that is R. You will not hear the W make any sound at all. Another possible one is G and N together. For these ones, the G is not going to make any sound. All you're going to hear is the N sound. Okay? And then for KN, that's another one that you might see in some words. And for this one, the K says nothing. It is a silent K. And the N is the sound you will hear, N. So if you're noticing, all of these have a letter at the beginning that doesn't make any sound. The second letter is the one that makes the sound. So silent G, silent W, silent K. Alrighty, so you might see some of these in books that you're reading, and you might notice that the first letter is not making any sound. It's a silent letter or a ghost letter, and the second one is the one that you're hearing. For this one, you hear R. For these, you would hear N, and for this one, you would also hear N. Okay, let's take a look at some of these. I want to start with some WR words. Just give you some examples of some WR words that you might see in a story that you're reading. So you might see WR. Here's a popular one that you might have seen in our classroom before too. Right. I see a magic E word right here. Right. Listen carefully. Right. It's like the W isn't even there. But in this word, it's just a silent letter. Okay, so this word is right, and the WR just makes the R sound. Another one that you might see for a WR word is a part of your arm, your wrist. This is a word that has a R. It's a silent W at the beginning, wrist. We could also have, this is a tool that we use sometimes, a wrench. A wrench is something that you use to kind of tighten something up. So wrist, right, wrench, they all sound like they're starting with an R, but the W is actually what begins it. This is something you might hang on your door at Christmas time. What is this? Eeth. We got a vowel team there. Eeth. You might hang that on your door. Okay, wreath. Let's do one more. Wrong. Wrong, like if you're driving the wrong way. Sounds like a R. The W is silent. The W says no sound. Wrong. Wrong. Okay, let's take a look at our next silent letter combination here. Now let's do K and N. So when you're looking at these two, the N is what makes the sound. The K says nothing. It is a silent K. Silent K I notice a lot in some words. So here are some that you might notice in your stories. Here's one that we are learning about for fairy tales. What does this say? N. Start with the N sound because it's silent K. N-ite. This says ite. Night. Like in the story we're reading for fairy tales, we're learning about knights and kings and queens and princes and princesses. So night, that's a silent K word that you might notice in a story that you're reading. You might have a knot in your rope or a knot in your headphones or something like that. Silent K, N makes the sound. This is a different type of knot than if you just had the N-O-T. This means like I do not want you to go, or I am not going with you, or whatever. But if you put a K in front, it's the type of like knot, like you have a knot in your rope or a knot in your hair, something like that. So it's two different meanings. If it has a K in the front, it's that type where it's like a big knot, something stuck like in your rope, okay? So that's another silent K word, knot. Another one, if you just go to somebody's house, you might knock on their door. You might knock on their door, silent K. Perhaps you are in the kitchen and you need one of these to cut your bread. It is a knife. Magic-y word here. Knife. The K says nothing. The K is silent. Okay? Alrighty, one more silent K word. Here's a part of your body. Knee. Your knee. Just like on your leg, you have your knee, and it is a silent K at the beginning of that word. Alrighty, our next silent letter combination that we're going to learn about, there's not as many of this. I don't have as many examples of this, but this is G and N together, and the sound that you'll hear is N. You do not hear the G sound at all. That's why it's called a silent G. It doesn't make any sound. Okay, so N is this sound. One of the words that you might know of is there's like a tiny little bug. Sometimes it's like a little black bug that flies around. It's called a gnat. So if you are ever seeing this word, gnat, your G is silent. Okay, that word is gnat, silent G. This is a poem that we're going to do in a couple of days, and it's about a gnome. A gnome is kind of like a dwarf or like a elf. I don't know. It's kind of a fairy tale type of character. But gnome has a silent G. It starts with the N sound, and the G is silent. Okay. Another word that you might have, the GN is actually going to be at the end of this word, and this word is sign. Sign. Like if you sign your name or if you see a stop sign, this is the word sign. You do not hear any G in this word because it is a silent G. Okay? And then you could even add the part D at the beginning and make this word design. Design. Like maybe if you want to be an engineer, you can design things, or maybe if you like decorating houses, you can design the way that the house looks inside. So those are our silent letters that we're going to be learning about this week. There are a few YouTube videos that you'll be able to watch this week. I will record another video for you in a couple of days of going over our poem. Like I said, it has to do with a gnome and a knight. Both of those are silent letters at the beginning. So be looking for some of these words as you read, and remember that if you do come across one of these sounds, it's really a silent letter at the beginning. R, N, N. Okay, so those are our silent letters. Make sure that you're working on those pages in your learning packet too. That will help you with some of these silent letters. Bye.